We'll be starting in just a minute. Okay, looks like the stream is live. Everything looks good. Make sure there's nothing torrenting. I'll make my message clear. Okay. A Trumper came to the channel named Walter Miles, one of those faceless people on YouTube. They don't show their face, they're hide in the dark. Supreme, don't you think it's odd that all those is coming, all this, you want to say, not those, but this is coming out, is what you want to say now? All of a sudden, Trump has raped all these. Nobody said anything about rape. Is that what Trump is saying? That you buy into everything the man says? Nobody said anything about rape. Okay? Nobody said anything about rape. Sexual assault. Groping. That's called sexual assault, by the way. Yeah, that's how it is. I'm sorry. If women don't like being touched without their permission. So it's called sexual assault. All right? Understand that truth. So when black dudes grab a girl's ass like they used to do Jovina, that was sexual assault. This is just to cover all the stream of WikiLeaks coming on the atrocities of the Clintons. If you claim to be able to see, you should see this. Now, he's obviously trying to use my awakenness while he is actually still asleep. and I'll prove that to you guys. Against me is a tool. I saw right through that. That shows how awakened I am. It doesn't work on me. Lame attempt. You don't know me very well. When you say something like that, you claim to be awakened. That's obviously a tooling mechanism. It's not going to work on me. Bitches will try that shit. Do you think that shit worked on me with bitches? It ain't going to work on me from Trump bitches either. Okay? You notice I've never supported Hillary, by the way, fellas. You guys do know that, right? You never heard me say, vote for Hillary. Right? And I said to the fellow, look, don't use me being awakened with that lame shit you just said. I see your attempt here. I'll do a show later on. Which really has nothing to do with the purpose of this channel. I'll also give you some insight on this whole bullshit of timing. Now, if you listen to Trump, it's like this fella goes into the rhetoric of Trumpism. And I'll read to you now for a moment. How you say that you're awake and not see the globalism? Or that Trump is the one candidate opposed to it. Let me destroy that right now. Trump is a part of it. Do you think you get that rich and not be a part of it? The Trillionaires Club, which he's not a member of. Their lower lackeys, the billionaires. Did you think? Did you even stop to think? You didn't use your head. Now, notice he said the globalist left wing. Now, this is where you got tooled. The globalists are right wing, dummy. It's the low-laid people who are left wingers. You don't see globalist rich people trying to support green earth and equality of all people. You idiot. You fell for his shit. I hope you can see the truth now. I just destroyed that. No, he's a wild cannon that they want to shut down now. He's one of their billionaires are their dogs. They're first line people. If you want to talk about globalism, which I don't want to go into. Now, he's been one about the timing. He's got all his people to spit out the rhetoric. What about the timing? What about the timing? What about the timing? He created that mess for himself. As you've heard the females say, it's when he said, "No, I did not." That's what set them off. The tape wound them up. Him denying it set them off. Now, white culture, women had to accept this kind of shit for generations. And I don't know if you're white or black, Walter. I don't know if you're that Uncle Tom was on my site, but I think you're a white guy. So in your culture, women had to accept this. Look at the PUAs and what they're preaching. That's white culture. That comes out of European history. Women are basically property. You do what you want to them. That's why you see the highest number of rapes are by white males. FBI stats. I'll post a link below this video if you doubt me. So, no offense, I don't want to get racial here. And in fact, let's take off our racial blinders for a moment and just look at the truth of it. Trump is rich. That's that same mentality. Okay? And as he said, when you're famous, you do what you want. And that's exactly what he did. Can you not see the truth of that? God, are you that blind? Now, you guys think that he's going to go in and shake up the whole system. He sold you on that bullshit, dummies. He would make it better, yeah, for business. That's what he's about. That's who they are. Can't you see that, idiot? You don't believe what comes out of these people's mouth. You don't believe what comes out of Hillary's mouth. You don't believe what comes out of Trump's mouth. You see through the bullshit and see the truth. Let's look at the truth of this matter. He represents white supremacy out in the front. That's what he represents. I'm not just saying that as an African American. I'm saying it as the truth. Look how the KKK has supported him. Look how the police department supported him. We do know that the police department was infiltrated, according to white people who work at the FBI, put out a report ratting on other white folks. It was white folks that said that. They reported that, by the way. I'm sure there was a couple of black agents doing some research too. I hate to get down like, nitpicky like that, but that's how some of you people are, Walter, you Trumpers. So they support him. What you don't see is that there's something going on the planet within people. That's what you don't see. Do you notice how black folks are agitated and rising up against the injustice? Do you notice how white folks are agitated? The good ones are rising up. Whatever's inside of them is becoming more active. If they're the good white folks, they're rising up. They're walking with Black Lives Matter people. They're saying this is not right. They're becoming more active. The bad ones are becoming more active. The ones within the police force, they're shooting more blacks. The ones who are not within the police force. I just, on my Facebook, a Trumper going like this to a woman. It's getting worse and worse and worse because there's something going on within humanity. There's a change coming. Trump has effectively just destroyed the entire Republican Party. He was their wild dog, but he represents what's inside that party. I mean, think about it. 7 years, no new bills. They blocked everything Obama did. It's not because he was stupid. It's because of his race. Even the Republicans themselves said, we're the most racist people on the planet. Remember, they're the leftover from the Civil War people. They're the ones that had the money, that started the businesses. Rockefeller himself. There was a man who was an Egyptologist in the early 1900s. He wrote a book about, black folks, original Egyptians. Rockefeller gave him $1.5 million to write another book to recant that, and he did it. Rockefeller. What you knuckleheads don't see is the rich don't want to lose their power, and they're not going to. Humanity is actually getting upset, starting to wake up. You guys are starting to wake up, except in the wrong direction, because you're still being controlled. But they're pushing the switches. I mean, you fell for the whole globalism shit. How can you say that you're awakened and not see globalism? Let's go above that and get to the people that hide in the dark, that control the planet. That's where I look at. I look at the penny ante shit going on and with Trump and the Republican Party. That's a setup right there. Keep us against each other so we don't come together as one. We got Democrats, we got Republicans. We fight each other. You got black, you got white. We fight each other. Do you not see the truth of that? Can you not get beyond your programmed bullshit mindset to see the truth of that? Why do we need two parties? Well, we create two parties because there are people that want to support racism, slavery. And there were good white folks that wanted to get rid of it. Two different parties. We had two different Democratic parties at one time. Split off, formed the Republican Party. Where do you think the racists went? Now, it is true that there are racists on both sides, though. On this side, it's less overt. On that side, it's extremely overt to the point where they'll kill babies. They'll kill women, as they've done in the past. They'll hang women from bridges, as I've got photos of. They'll hang blacks. They'll burn blacks, cut their privates off. This side is a little bit more humane about it. They're more on the table about it. But generally, they got some issues with black people as well. They're on both sides. I know that. But this side is dangerous. This is my right hand. This side is dangerous. They're full of negativity. And that's what's coming out in those people. Like you. He has blown the lid off political correctness. So he wants to, say niggers are niggers. You blacks are niggers. That's what we like to say, by the way. You blacks, you niggers. You Mexicans are spics. You're rapist. And that's why he's so popular. Because this side, that's how your side thinks, Walter. That's how your side thinks. He's agitated the hatred that's within you people on your side. Now I'm assuming that you're Caucasian, you're black, you're one of the coons. You're like Sheriff Clark, Coon Clark, sucking up to white folks to get a Scooby snack, a pat on the head. He's been the manifestation of a great awakening in this country. There is a great awakening going on. And I just talked about it. Blacks are waking up. White folks are waking up. Whatever's inside of you is what's awakening. Whatever's been programmed inside of you is awakening. Either it's good or positive. You see white folks starting Black Lives Matter movements themselves is one example. I just saw a video of a white cop talking a black guy off a bridge from committing suicide. That's the goodness within humanity. Then you got your side, the bad, the negative within. Sorry to put it on you Repubs, but you know the truth. As one of your own people came out who worked for Colin Powell said, what's causing your problems is your racism. You got to remember that your originators were the rich people that owned slaves. So they control your party. They put out all these messages. that got you guys programmed and tooled. We need to do away with both parties, in my opinion. Let it be a people of the government, for the government, about the government, for the people. Stop the bullshit. That competing shit. Setting one against the other. Not one fucking bill since Obama's been in office. You Repubs stopped everything he did. And I feel sorry for you Repubs who don't have any power. You're being controlled by the people that run your organization, and you're too blind to see what the truth is. They say, yeah, he's stupid. He's so ignorant. But you don't see the real truth behind it. You've been tooled into racial hatred. That's all. And it's within the majority of you. You've been programmed to that shit. He is merely a manifestation of a great awakening in the country. That's why all the bullshit attacks by the left isn't working. Actually, it worked. All the polls, he's down. It worked. I guess you're listening to Trump. Why about you wake up the truth and look at the real truth? The polls show the truth. Don't come back and start attacking the polls. Don't do that lame shit, fella. Including the latest unproven sexual assault charges that just happened to be coming just before the vote. Really? The globalists are really showing their hand. You call them globalists. I think you're thinking of just the rich people. You're not looking at the mega rich, as the conspiracy people say, the 13 ruling families. You're looking at the people that work for them. You call them the globalists. The rich bankers. Of course, that's going to generate down to the Jews. Hey, if they got the money and they tool your race, if you're white, they tool white folks. They control you. They control your minds. They got you to hate blacks so that it takes the pressure off of them. And they just happen to belong to that church. They're not even about that church. That's one of their tools. They went to that church, so they had to give the money to the Catholic Church, by the way, back in the past. If you study your history, you see the truth of that. The money lenders, Catholic Church was demanding tithe 10% of your wealth. They said no. So it's not that they're really actual of that religion. They use religions as tools. So let's get to the truth. Now, as I said, explained to you, and you listen to Trump, the timing, all of his pundits, the timing. If he had said what he said, the majority is when it said shit, when it did shit. It took only one person to get pissed off. And he goes, look at her. Look at her. This just showed you her photos when she was younger. Yeah, she's old now. What they need to do, though, is have these women take a lie detector test. Solve the problem right there. Have them take a lie detector test. You need to look at Cooper Anderson. Why he kept being insistent on that question. See, you didn't even notice that, did you? He knew what Trump would say. And if that shit did happen, should it not be out in public? If you're going to elect a pervert into the fucking front office, are you serious? And then the Trumpers love to use the Bill Clinton raped Bill Clinton. Bill who? I don't see Bill's name on the ballot, but she's married to him. You do see that for the tool that it is, right? You claim to be awakened. You do see that as a tool. Know that as a tool, right? To shift. I haven't even gotten into Hillary shit. Don't need to. Because this side versus that side. I'm not going to side with the KKK. See this? I'm not going to side with the KKK. And black folks, we got those people that we call house niggers. I'm going to use that word today. Get Scooby snacks, biscuits. Hey, they even get jelly on their biscuits. They do a good job. Let's see. The globalists are really showing their hand. So hopefully you've learned that Trump tried to point the finger. He only gave you half the truth. He said the globalist left side. When, as you now realize, as you're waking up, there are no globalist left sides. They don't have power. It's the rich right side. Oh, God, I've been told. Hopefully you woke up to the truth. And you're part of that whole, let's keep these people at each other's throats. You're so deep in the forest, you can't even see that you're in the dark forest. The whole white-black thing, the whole Democrat-Repub thing. So hopefully my words have wakened you up to the truth. You've been tooled. They got you. I mean, you're actually shouting out, he is what did you say again? Trump is the one candidate opposed to it. He's some great messiah. It's Donald Trump, you idiot. He's not a great messiah. He's a man that does people out on their deals because it's good business. Jesus. He's the man that said you can walk up to him because you're famous. His own words. You saw you guys don't see these things that come out. The one video of his daughter when he tried to kiss her. In white families, that stuff goes on. And they keep it in the family. And I'm wearing this hat. I don't know whose hat it is. It was in the house. I had to go outside and put my tarp over my leg press machine right out the door. Someone's gonna say, you're wearing a Portuguese hat. No, I turn it to the side to the black fellas that want to say some stupid shit like that. So you don't see the Portuguese emblem. It was a hat. It was right there. I put it on. I didn't even know it was the Portuguese flag. I guess maybe her mom bought it back for me. I don't know. It was just in my hat collection. So anyways, now that I got through that silly shit again, black folks like to do. Because there's silly shit on all sides. But mankind is actually waking up. Whatever's inside of us I'm going to give you some metaphysics now, is becoming agitated. Whatever's inside of you is becoming more and more agitated. Okay? If you're more on the positive side, that's becoming more positive. If you're more on the negative side, that's becoming more negative. And I know that, Walter, you don't see your side as being negative. Look, hatred is negative. Okay? So, you're on the negative side, buddy. Wake up to your truth. I know you don't want to accept that. Negative knows each other. Do you think the KKK is a positive organization? Do you think the police are seen as a positive organization? Even by white folks? White folks, because they start beating you guys up, you guys started sites like Cop Block and Cop Watch. Because now they're beating you up. They're not shooting you as much, but they've always, shot people. But with you guys usually have guns shooting at them. And I know there are blacks that shot at cops, just as to head off the stupid shit. But look at the unarmed ones. Jeez, I hate that I gotta break everything down because people are so stuck in their bullshit that they come back with bullshit. I'm sorry, but that's the negative side, because negative sees negative, and they will support negative. And as I told you Trumpers, I get it. Trump is a white man. You're a part of white culture. White culture does not respect women. That's part of your history. You don't respect women. Look at, again, the PUAs. Look at the recent atrocities you've seen from them. Look at the two that raped. That's coming out of your history's culture. It's still part of your energy. Let's just be real and be honest and truth about it. That's part of you. That's getting agitated. Not all, but negative recognizes negative. So negative will always follow negative. Why would negative want to come to a positive side and do something positive? And I know negative will get you to see that those white people are standing for those blacks. They shouldn't be standing up for that. See, they got you to think that look, as an example, Black Lives Matter was a terrorist organization. That organization has been infiltrated, by the way. It has been infiltrated. And I wasn't a fan. It was started by lesbians. But I do believe in the message. Stop killing unarmed blacks. Please. Please. Be like the good white cop that talked the guy down from the bridge. Why can't we have more like that? We saw the last shooting. Against his SUV. The female shot him. And what did I say? They'll throw her under the bus because she's a woman. That's white culture. She tried to get some big kudos to fit in with the racist on the police force. I'll shoot a black too. Maybe I'll get my card. They threw her ass under the bus. White men don't want white women or any females on the police force, by the way. You guys who are males, you do know that, right? You are aware of that, correct? You are that awake and at least see that, right? They don't want females on the police force. They hated it. They still hate it. So they're going to throw them under the bus. You know that. And I said that. And what happened? She got thrown on the bus. She tried all those different lies, but stop killing unarmed blacks. These guys, that guy had kids. They all, they have children. Look at the whole, I don't want to go back to the whole thing. We can start with Eric Garner all through, but we don't need to do that. It's already been done to death. If you can't see it, then you're so stuck. You're so stuck in the negativity and programmed. And as they say, the force is strong. If you notice, all through humanity, we've always said good versus evil. Basically, positive versus negative. Positive wants things to grow, things to be light, sunny, airy. Negative is all about the hateration, bring it down, destroy, chaos. You guys just study basic, now I lost the word, fuck. Study basics of life, physics, philosophy. Study basic philosophy. You've seen the chaos. Yeah, you know that. Whenever something good shows up, something the opposite, as I've talked about years ago, is going to show up as well. So, we do know, even though the Republicans may not admit it, their party was started by evil, by negative. Do you think they were trying to do any good? Do you think they care about poor people? A rich white man hates a poor white man almost as bad as they hate blacks and other races. Just so you know. I know you guys aren't rich. You're not aware of that. See, I learned that from old blacks who work for these rich people. As they're cleaning their house, scrubbing their floors, hearing the comments. As they're serving them tea, hearing the comments. Okay? If you're black, you probably heard your grandparents teach that. A rich white man hates a poor white man. Hates. The word hate is a negative thing. They hate blacks. We saw that Sterling. That's a truth that you got to learn to accept. These rich white people hate black people. They hate poor people. They hate. That's negative. So they represent the negative side, unfortunately. Not all, but the majority. There are some halfway decent rich people. And the Bible says, the root of all evil. No, it's the worship of money. Not being rich is definitely not being rich is the root of all evil, but evil does come around and seduce you in. You got to become part of this if you want to go in higher. Look what happened to Google. Google bent over. It's a shame that people like Walter Miles just doesn't get it. It's a shame. It's sad. You notice that people, they want to go back to WikiLeaks against Hillary and all that. Let's just admit the truth. She's a woman. You can't respect women. White men, you cannot respect women. Let's get to the real truth of the matter that's underneath all this shit. As I said, go back to Cooper Anderson. Yeah, who do you think told him to ask that question? His boss. They have a strategy meeting, by the way. He's a journalist. You think his boss would say, hey, listen to him now. Who tells his boss that? So Trump is mad because the people over him don't want him to go any further. I said, was it 4 years ago? Almost 4 years ago, that the next president is going to be a woman. And it's going to be. It's going to be a woman. You guys can whine about all you want to. As I said, they had a black in there. And they made sure, he's half black so that he wouldn't be as offensive to white folks. Because white folks, you guys always got to feel good. If you don't feel good, bad shit happens. So he was half white. So they'd be more acceptable to you. To you. Because you're the dominant race in this country. We got to appease you. We have to make you feel good. Give you your superhero so that you guys fly through the air and lift cars, shit like that. Right? So, it's going to happen. They tried to make sure Obama stayed in office by putting a Mormon out there. Good-looking guy, spoke well, unfortunately. He's a Mormon. That's a racist church, as you know. They believe that when my race dies, our skin will burst open and a white person's going to come out. You do see that, right? They wear their little magic shirts so that they don't connect to your energy. And you wanted that in office, Repubs? A good-looking face? So they're going to the whole WikiLeaks thing, and I hate going into politics. I really hate that shit. But let's look at the big picture. Who's pushing that? The Republicans. And we know why. Because they want their guy in the office. Because I'm looking at T-Man here. He's obviously a white male. He's talking about the WikiLeaks. Hill Doe. She said the banks... Whatever, man. Neither one is going to do anything good for my race. This is your people's problem. You do see that, right? The only thing we can do is prevent the worst evil from getting in there. That's what we're about. This is the same problem that your race has had with your women since the 1800s, when women in America wanted equal rights. This is white folks' issue, white folks' problem, by the way. A white man against a white woman. That's what it's really about. Let's forget the WikiLeaks. Let's forget all that shit. This is your race's issues with your women. You can't vote for a woman. Let's just be real about it. If WikiLeaks didn't exist, you would use the other one. Look at her husband. Okay? So don't come here with some programmed mind fuck shit. You've been mind fucked, dude. Just at least be real about it. Huh? And again, I'm using the blue ball. Turn your volume up, Timon. Now there are people say, I thought Supreme was awakened. I just gave you the awakened version. Negative versus positive. You can't get more awakened than that. But there are negatives on this side. There are more positives on this side. There are some positive people on this side too. The man that came out saying that my party's full of racists was a positive person. But there are more negatives on this side, so this side is negative. This side is more the positive. This side represents big business. This side represents people. Do the people that control the side do that? No. Neither party does that for us. Both sides control us. Books for a better life. Why is everybody talking about Trump? Someone came to the channel with that bullshit. When it's been confirmed Clinton wants open borders. Oh, God. Books for a Better Life, I thought you were more intelligent than that. It's black, I'm a libertarian. I respect that. That party I can respect. So I take no sides, which none of them were for the nomination. King Koopa, I'm against Trump, but I sure don't want a woman president. Why not, King?
Scared?
No, really. Why don't you want a woman president? See, you've got that programming, that white programming. You're East Indian, though. But you got that white programming. Okay, that's all it really is. It's white culture. White culture, women, as you see with Trump, have no power. Although he does good at paying them, as women have said.
Paying them off.
But when it comes to sexual appetites, they have no power. See, I don't have a problem with a woman president. Who was the first person that taught you how to tie your shoes? Your mother. Who's the person that changed your diapers? Your mama.
First person to ever come to your defense.
Then go back and watch it. I'm Dominican, King says. Dominican, yeah. White culture. You guys try not to have any African blood. You guys got tooled with that whole, that mulatto that was white in his skin. White culture, man. And you just said something really stupid, King. I just feel women can't make good decisions. Your mother made a decision to have you. Was that a good decision or not?
He didn't say that in our house.
Our house? No, my house. Why give me the crazy look? This is my channel.
Oh, the channel.
Dupree, I don't see Trump's still around. Trump was supposed to be the great white hope to these guys and all that. Put darkies back in their place because he believes in law and order. And stop darkies from uprising. King, Trump would have had your ass on a boat as well, by the way. You're Dominican. You're one of those people. Whether you're light-skinned or not. You're one of the mud people, as Hitler pointed out. That's how those people think. Why though? If she becomes president, then what's Bill gonna be? Her bitch? Here's the other thing about this whole woman president thing. Because the first lady's always been, a woman. He'll be the first man. And we see the rise of homosexuality. We see the change of the culture. And now we're going to have a woman president. And it just goes against the whole gender thing. I know. And I could understand that portion of it. But what I don't understand is, you know, if she was single, it'd be better. That way there's no first bitch. If she had divorced him, it would have been a lot better. That way she could have cut all ties with his ass. But, of course, you know, both sides are using whatever they can to throw artillery at the other side and blow him up. But Trump did it to himself. Again, in white culture, women learn not to say anything. But when he said, no, I do not, that pissed him off and pushed the first one out there. After the first one, the next one came. You think Broderick Hunter is gay? I don't know who Broderick Hunter is. I looked at the man's mannerism. I guess he's that black dude on that video. And I saw elements of, maybe because he picks up behavior from his friend and people around him, but I didn't see traditional black masculine behavior in him. That is the guy, okay. So the guy who did the show is gay. Do you think he's going to go get a straight guy? Most gay dudes, how many straight friends do they have? Think about it. He said, this is my friend. I don't know if the guy's gay, but I picked up, I'm really good at seeing things. I picked up some of his mannerisms. And not when he was doing the whole gay thing, the feminine side. It was on the straight side, the masculine side. You didn't know the guy that did that show was gay? Holy fuck. Go back and look at the mannerisms. I can't do their mannerisms. Their head thing. Those females were, of course they're very masculine, because that's who they have friends with. He goes, those females very masculine on that. You guys, go watch the video. The link is still below. And he even said, I do a lot of, you can see the mannerisms. Hey, it's a black guy? Wow. Open your mind, open your eyes, brother. The fact the media decides to focus on Trump, not Clinton, books, we're done. Okay? If you didn't listen to what I just had to say and try to get you to wake up to the truth, and you still support Trump, knock yourself out. Okay? You won't convince me of anything. Because I'm up here, you're down here in the bushes looking at all this stupid shit. Greg Murray, Donald Trump will not get anything through Congress or the Senate, Supreme, or FIST. I don't care. Again, this is white people's inner shit that's going on right now. And we got to sit there and watch them fight it out. And the only way we can help is by vote for us blacks. Not because you're a Democrat. If he was a Democrat, let's say Donald Trump was a Democrat, and he was neither one, pretty much. I mean, he's for Donald Trump. But if he was a Democrat and Hillary was a Republican, and she's coming out of the negative, who will we vote for? If the racists suddenly start supporting Donald Trump, then of course we'd have to vote for the one the racists don't support. So for my race, we have to go in opposition to the racist. Because obviously there's something wrong. If they want this man in office, it won't be good for my race. And the question comes up, of course, well, don't you care about the country? Really? Don't ask that question. It's always been rigged, dummy. Sorry, T-Man. I said it years ago. That's why I said next we're going to have a woman. So shut the fuck up, sit back like little robots and sheeple, stop whining about it. You can't do anything about it. Let's just be honest and real. There's nothing you can do about it. Your party put up what they thought was the best man. He lost. You should have chose a better man. You could put up Cruz because his name is just too Latin, I guess. Isn't he like Latin descent anyway? White Latin? I don't know. But you put up Trump. And Trump represents all that's negative about your party. All of the racism that's inside. All of the old good old boy network shit. Your party should have stopped them at the get-go, but you didn't. Why? Because your party's controlled as well. The people that control your party wanted Trump out there. Okay? Unfortunately, they couldn't stop him. They couldn't control him. But they were able to control him enough to get him to say, the globalist leftists. That's how much control they had over Trump. Mike, you have no voice in this because you're not in my country. Sorry, Mike, no offense, but I dealt with a Canadian talking about shit in this country, and the guy left my site. If Trump was to win, God help us. That you can say, because if Trump wins, he'll fuck your country up. That part is true. There, Mike. God help us. Because of his immaturity. T-Man says, I don't have a party. None of these are my peers. Well, those guys who were at pubs, you should have did a better job. You should have did a fucking better job. You mean Edgar Hoover days? On what? There's never been good days for black people in this country. Dupree. Greg Murray, the private sector and defense contractors will always be there. Yeah. They're like herpes. Never goes away. He's known to fill women up, and his daughter was out of call. His daughter actually testified against him, by the way, to you Trumpers. She used the words rape because he was mad after he had some kind of hair surgery. You do know that his daughter said rape, right? That's probably the daughter that wouldn't let him kiss him. Now, she's down to support the family to rise the Trump name up, but she wouldn't even let him kiss him. Of course, that perversion is going to, be in the family. And look how he's perverted his sons. What does his son say? If women can't handle it, go get a job as a elementary school teacher or some shit like that. Daycare teacher. That's white culture. There are decent white folks, but then there's not decent white folks. And I say white folks because you guys are dominant people. You guys run the country. Okay, you guys took over. You guys are the people in power. If it were East Indians, I'd be saying about East Indians. You guys are the ones that run the country. Whoever's the dominant people, you guys are the ones that get shit on. But your bullshit affects everybody below you. Can you understand that? It's not a racial thing. It's your bullshit does affect everybody below you. Your issues affects everybody. Your issues with your women affects everybody. It created feminism. You guys created feminism, by the way. You white men created feminism because you couldn't give your women equal power. So the rest of us got to suffer along with you. Why don't Trump like women? Trump loves women. His ideology of the women should be sucking his dick if they're hot enough. Why don't you let him out? Jovina, let him out. King says, I know we're all nails at the end of the day. Okay. Let's not act like nails, though. How about that? Hits back like we've always respected our women until rap came. Yeah, but who supported the rap? The white people that control the rap industry now. Of course, they wanted to separate us from our women. We can, those of you who are awakened, you can see that truth. Just like those of you that learn the truth of smoking weed. It's those of us who are not awakened can't see the truth of blacks, why we smoke weed. T-Bond is a sociopath that he only loves himself. Psychologists have came out and said Trump is a narcissistic. Okay. Michael Nolan. Hillary has fakeness about her. I don't want it as you can see it in her. Yeah. Hillary is a fucking politician. You think politicians, they get there by being real? You notice how the people like libertarians, independents, never get anywhere? They keep us stuck on fighting each other, Repubs, Democrats. It's the whole gladiator thing. Give them something to occupy their minds. Take their minds off the truth. Democrat, Repub. How about let's look at the truth? Let's look at the good people, the bad people. And they're part of the bad, by the way. He's a black guy. Jews and whites. Most Jews are white. Let's not forget that. They want you to think that they're not white. The white people. The ones at the top don't give a fuck. They're at the top. They got all the money they want. They don't give a fuck. It's like calling a white guy, what's the word for white folks? Rednecks. No. Derogatory word. Jovina. Derogatory word for white folks. What is the word that... Damn. I'm sorry, on this side, I don't even know any derogatory word for white folks. Somebody come up with a derogatory word for white folks. Crackers. Yeah, thank you. Crackers. Call them white folk cracker. They're like, okay. Call a black dude nigger. They're ready to fight. It don't mean shit to them. Don't mean shit to those people at the top. Top of the pyramid. Supreme, I live by saying heart of a king, blood of a slave. I'm so sick of kings and slaves. Honky, don't mean shit to them. And you white folks, does that mean anything to you? Come on. If I called you a honky, a cracker, most white folks just 90% laugh it off. The rest will say, because they want it to be fair, yeah, it means something to me. No, it don't. Come on. Inbreds, I've never heard that used as a general term for white folks. White trash is about their station in life. There is white trash. They know they're white trash. Meth addicts, trailer park trash, whatever you want to call them. When you call them a racist, that means something to them. Yeah. But I was looking for derogatory. I guess that is a derogatory term. Because they want to prove they're not racist. But the racist, you get that. Greg Murray says no. Yeah, see? Thank you for your honesty, Greg. I believe Greg is Murray and saying it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't make you want to put your fist up. White trash is like ghetto blacks. They're both the same. Yeah. White trash is a separate class from the higher class of white people, King says, yes. Crackheads, they're crackheads, black and white. I think they're more black crackheads than, because whites tend to be meth addicts. Yeah. Crack was distributed into the black community to get blacks hooked on crack. And if you black people can't see that we've been controlled, if you put a blunt to your lips, know that every time you do that, you're a product of control. Okay? Don't defend it. Know that every time they got you addicted. Trump is everything bad. How did he even get power? Money. In this country, money talks, as in every country, there, Michael Nolan. He is a representation of his party, though. The people that rule his party, rather words. Because there are good Republicans out there. Don't get me wrong. My best friend, you guys know about Craig. His father was a Republican. His family never did that whole, I heard black people this thing. You know, the white people like to make you feel like, remind you that you're black. And they ask you something about black people. If you're white, don't do that to black people who are your friends. His family never did that to me. I've always felt welcome to home. That's why I went to their home for Christmas. I'm in their fucking family photos. Okay? There are good Republicans out there that are positive. Unfortunately, the people that control them are not. So I'm not putting down all the good Republicans out there. Unfortunately, their party was overrun by the people who are not. They're controlled by the people who are not. Let's see. Hey, it's a black guy. It's actually a white guy who exposed the crack Contra connection. Yeah, I know. A guy named Gary Webb, who they let. I know about that. Yeah. And as I said, there are good white people out there. Tons of good white folks. I'm not calling white people evil. The militant blacks say that all white folks are devils. I never say that. I know that my militant brothers were angry. And the anger builds up. Anger is a negative emotion. We gotta let go of the anger and then think with clear heads and see with clear eyes. So we can get something done. Once we be able to see the truth of what's going on, how we've been tooled and programmed, then we can actually start doing some good work. But it takes for my race, which is now starting to wake up. Thanks to the internet, we're now talking. We now see what's going on around the country. We now see the injustices going on out there with the deaths. The young ones who are now trying to take the lead are saying that, I guess my parents' generation, I'm part of that though, that we didn't do anything. We didn't know about anything. Do you think white folks are going to tell you about the death of a black man unjustly, and I'm in California, that happened in Florida, in the news organization? No. So because of the internet, we now see. And I'll be glad when elections end. It will be Hillary, because that's what they want. Why? Think about it. Hey, it's a black guy. They made a movie about him called Kill a Mockingbird. His book, Dark Alliance, exposed the CIA crack, cocaine Contra connection, and how they were funding the Contras through crack. The CIA landed the drop planes in Arkansas while Clinton was governor. There we go. See, you must be a Trumper. Or you're just a white man that I'm not going to let a woman in there. But they got you riled up and programmed up and shit like that. They're all part of it. You think the Repubs aren't part of that too? Do you really think that, T-Man? Wake up, T-Man. Wake up. Raisin Supreme. You think America is heading for an economic crisis with Trump as president? America will get really dark. But Trump's not going to win. So I'm not even thinking of that. I don't like to do what ifs. Nerds, weak motherfuckers I've met on the internet. What if she does it? I don't like to do what ifs. You notice I don't do that? I've met more black devils who gave me a hard time worse than whites. Always got in a fight with ignorant ghetto blacks. Yeah. Recognize, King says that. I mean, his black guy said that. Recognize that these people, the ghetto blacks, that the brother said I hate, they've been tooled. I actually think that if we can teach them the truth, there is hope for them. That's what that Soter dude doesn't believe. The Republicans went downhill after Newt Gingrich in the mid-90s. No, because Bush got in office. King, hey Supreme, what's your thoughts on pro-blacks and the So-Coons? I'm a pro-black, by the way. As you're a pro-Dominican. Is like, why not unite and fight the same battles? There are Dominicans that will betray you. Dominica. You know that. There are some Dominicans that will betray your group of people. Just as there are blacks that betray blacks. And these blacks, they only focus on the ghetto blacks. I can see why they do it. Shit, I'd want to do it too if I only focus on that. But I see the good too. Instead of thinking, how can I help my brother? And they want to side in with the dumb society. It's a survival instinct that goes off in these people. Like hoes. It's a survival instinct. Raisin, I disagree. I believe Trump is going to win because it's CIA planned already. Okay, buddy. Okay. Raisin. Supreme, why are you so sure Hillary is going to win? Because I can see the truth. I'm just going to say it like that. I can see the truth, what's going on. I started the show because the knucklehead Walter. Hey, little Walter. That name always reminds me of that. And I think that is that black dude. Because I think his name was Walter. If that is that black dude, he's an example of what we call coons. And that's why I kicked him off my forum. I don't suffer the presence of coons not in my house, not in my, no. I don't do that. That's why I started this whole entire fucking show. Jovina. Never mind.
Huh?
Breakfast.
Breakfast what?
Breakfast. Excuse me. Actually, normally we go out to breakfast on Sundays, so it's not our typical program. Do you want to go out? No? Cool. She's had a sick stomach. She's been sick. T-Man. My mom is a diehard Democrat, so I'm always trying to make her see both sides are the same, but she is invested to admit Democrats and Republicans are the answer. Sorry, player, I'll stop. Good. Thank you for waking up for a moment. Now wake your buddy Raisin up. Two have the same coin. Both that coin is pushing down on people. We've lost control of the government. We don't have control of the government anymore. The rich people took that from us. It started, you go back to the use of TV in politics. It started with Michael Nolan's relative, John F. Kennedy. They put out a good-looking guy to use TV. The Repubs had no idea how to use it. They had was that Nixon, his ugly ass face. I mean, who's gonna vote? Who's gonna vote for the ugly, creepy guy or the handsome guy? TV is a powerful tool. When they saw the power of TV, back then they were experimenting with subliminals. These people, the rich, why do you think, let me give you an example. The music industry hires a think tank and they have conventions on this shit. You think they don't hire these brain trusts to figure out how to tool society. The rich ain't all that, necessarily smart themselves. They had the leg up. Their family was clever enough to get ahead way back in time. Their finance rose up. Look at the Rockefeller. He's clever enough to get into the right industry, the right time. He rose up, so that we got the Rockefellers now. They're smart enough to hire people that are smart enough to figure the shit out. They know that to tool black people, use the music. They started, and you could look at this. You wake up, look at this from 1,000-mile view where I sit, and you see they started right there with Cross Colors to test us. What happened? You guys don't know what Cross Colors is. There was a group called Cross Colors, and they promoted wearing your clothes backwards. So we saw black youth walking around like this. Coats on backwards. That's how easy my race is to control. I hate to say it, but I give you guys the honest truth. And if you were a kid, here's a black guy, and you did that, you got tooled. I was a grown adult when it happened. And I explained to my kids what was going on. Because remember, I woke up. I saw what was going on. Then you notice after that, our music changed. They introduced the ghetto rap. And I remember the regular rappers fighting this coming out. They lost all their contracts. They lost their radio shows, which are controlled by the rich. In fact, they're trying to break up the whole fucking trust. It was like, used to be like almost one company that controlled all the radio stations. Clearwater Channel. If you're in the business, you know who I'm talking about. It's called Clearwater Water Channel. They own just like everything. And they got broke up, but they're still doing the same thing. They create separate companies. So white folks control the outlets for the music. So they got control of all of that. If your music can't be heard, you make no money. So of course, the rappers who are willing to sell out came up with their bullshit rap. And now we see them with the bling bling. We see people like, who's that rap motherfucker I can't stand? With all the teeth. Jovian, who's the rap motherfucker I can't stand as a rapper? Lil Wayne. Thank you. We got Lil Wayne running around. Little scrawny, skinny, bug-eyed. Used to be a fucking nerd poet in high school. This goggle glasses. No offense to you guys that wear glasses, but that's what we have. Then we have rappers wearing berets with pink berets and clips in their pigtails. Started with Snoop. Snoop sold us out. He's part of it, but he got rich. Those are our real coons, by the way, fellas. Willing to sell us out. Those are the real coons. King Koopa Supreme. I'm very individualistic. Like to think and fight for myself. If I don't like to even classify it as Dominican, because my people look at me somewhat whitewash. Some do. Some of you people look whitewashed. You guys are hung up on that whole I don't have any black blood thing. I'm not black. That's your guys' hang up. And I have no respect for that. Of course, I'm black, so you deny your people, Dominicans, deny their African ancestry, and they want to look more Spanish. There was a brother on my forum that he was black. I didn't want to tell him, brother, you're black, but he was all hung up. I look more Spanish, don't I? My hair, my skin tone. You're mixed. You're a group of mixed people, like Cape Verdeans. I was at the Portuguese Hall last week for their sopish. That's for something they like soggy bread, soggy ass bread. Who eats soggy bread? They soak it in some. What do you guys soak that shit in?
Well, they cook the meat and the greens.
Yeah, they cook the meat.
Broth,
They eat collard greens like black folks.
and the broth.
And the broth, they take the broth,
Put that on top.
they put it on top of the bread. So I was there for soapish, and there's some Cape Verdeans there. Do you think they would? You know, I was looking for some. I was only black in the room, by the way. The other brothers didn't come out that are married to Portuguese. You think I got any recognition from them? You know, I got this because I was, noticing them, and they're a mixture of a black African. Their African genes are better than mine, and Portuguese. That's your Cape Verdeans, and that's what you guys remind me of, you Dominicans. It's Hillary election to lose, MK. I'm not sure what he's saying. It's Hillary's election to lose, but she's not. Raisin. Supreme, you actually believe in voting and the polls actually mean something? I'm sorry, dummy. I mean, Raisin. How do you think people get elected? Do you think those elections, they're fake ballots that are put in there? They've tried that before and got caught. Polls. Yes, I do believe in the polls as a general representation. Blink, blink. Yeah, I do. And don't come back. I thought you were awakened. I thought you were more intelligent than that. Don't play yourself, man. Okay? Just you even saying that shows your stupidity. King. See, here's how they control who gets in there. They control the mentality of the people. They can fine-tune it so that when we go to the polls, we're all armed up to make sure we vote for who they really want to win. They make it look like a close race. It's... Thank you, baby. I'm glad that African dude was whining about me sipping tea finally buggered off. Shut the fuck up. MK Supreme, chill. You look like you're about to bring out the baby powder. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Remo. Oh, slap some fools? Yeah. Yeah. Power Truth, what's the best thing to wear when trying to get bitches? Oh, you're that dude. I remember you now. Jovina, what's the best thing to wear to attract women's eye? Dark wash jeans, dress shoes, a button-down shirt. Is that correct?
Yeah. You want attention?
If you want attention. That's if you want their attention. If you don't want their attention, wear a printed shirt, some tennis shoes, and cargo pants. Michael Nolan, to be honest, there should be native Indian in there. The rest are all blow-ins. No offense to anyone on the channel. They'll never let a Native American in the front office, ever. Remember, that's your people, white people, Mike Nolan. Although you're in Ireland, and they treated your race, they called you guys the niggers of the white folks. I don't know why. And I looked at the old drawings they had of Irish, that turned up nose and that little chin they draw on you guys. And then they had the European man, the high forehead. Then they had the black guy looking like a monkey man. I saw those old photos. Don't know why they do that to your race. I think it has something to do with history. I know that there were blacks on the islands, on the island of Ireland, when your race hit that island. According to the white scholars, McRitchie and this other dude coming out of the ancient fables, the Tuatha De Danann. I'm speaking in Michael Nolan's Gaelic tongue. I don't think he speaks that language, though. So I know about the history coming out of Ireland. I don't know. I still don't get it. Why they chose to pick on your race like that. It's fucked up to me. But I believe that your race always needs a race to pick on. White folks, you guys need a race to pick on. As I said, if you got rid of all the blacks, all the Mexicans, all the minorities, right out of the country, you would find other races to pick on, other white people to pick on. You start picking on the Italians because they have melanin. Some of them are melanated. You start picking, you'd run the Portuguese right out. You'd expose them right away. The Portuguese, you know, if you're in Portugal right now, you see the dark Portuguese. For that reason, as Hitler said, mud people. You got called mud people. They call you mud people, and they'd run you out. As I said the other day. Again, I'm giving the truth. Most of this nonsense comes out of England. Then they act all prim and proper and like they're too good for the shit. MK Ultra. I remember the whole inside thing. I thought it was dumb as hell. The outside, yeah. Probably because your dad is from Jamaica. He wasn't programmed with the silliness here. I don't know. You had enough intelligence to see the stupid. I know people from other countries see black Americans, blacks from other countries see black Americans as just dumbass idiots. They don't realize that we've been here for a long time and they've had a long time to work on us. Timon said clear channel. I guess you know the business as I do. Razor Marcus, that's like saying an African lion that was born in America is American. Wake up, man. I don't even know what he said. I'm not paying attention to him right now. I just ate roasted sweet potatoes, asparagus, and Brussels sprouts. Well, I'm having oatmeal, no blueberry eggs are out of blueberries, and some strawberries. Team Europe. Okay, who was that came back in here? Trump will win. Look at the polls. And Obama took many lives. And this is one of you guys who just left. Who's not here right now? Well, Raisins. No, he posted right after that. Okay, this is one of you white guys. Come on, dudes. This is a white guy thing. This is what you guys do. Don't do that. Come in here and troll and create a fake name. They call it Team Europe. Someone that is actually European, that has a different type of keyboard. Looks like it could be French. He's blocked. We're not going to put up the trolls right now. And I'm actually done with the show. I'm going to go eat my breakfast before it gets too cold. Heard from a lot of sources that Snoop used to get punked out by thugs of the death row staff. Yeah, Snoop is not a fighter. He was never he went to school with Cameron Diaz. I don't know if any black people know that, but he went to school with Cameron Diaz. How bad was his thug life? Politics sucks. Yeah, but unfortunately, we're dealing with Cape Verdean women are fine. Yeah, that's very true. Maybe that's who you can date. Some Cape Verdes. Cop Verdes. Jovina, how do you say it? Cop Verde or Cape Verde?
It's Cape Verde.
Cabo Verde. Cabo Verde. Thank you. Supreme, what's your opinion on who runs the U.S.? Go deeper than white people because we all know it's them. I've already talked about it. Go back and watch the show. A white guy is here that has his face up. Thank you, the watcher, for being a white man that's willing to put his face up. He goes, it doesn't make someone a sexist to not vote for Hillary's fuckery. If you have to vote for a liberal ticket, you'd do better off voting for Jill Stein, who's also a woman, LOL. Thank you for the comment. We don't know if Trump ever sexually assaulted anyone. These women say he did. It's awfully funny that they did come out as he's whining about the timing. But as I tried to explain to you idiots, he did it to himself. I pointed the finger at the real culprit there, Cooper Anderson, who told him to find, insist on that. See, that's where you guys were too stupid to even look. Trump did it to himself. But who set him up to do it to himself? Okay? That's the connection you jackass idiots didn't make. Who made sure that he fucked himself? Who told Cooper Anderson to insist? I'm ready to go. I got to go eat. I'll come back and deal with this shit later on. Actually, I don't want to do politics. I'm about to teach you guys how to wake up in life. Part of that, unfortunately, we deal with politics, but that's not what I'm here for. Wake up the truth of dating. That's my mission. So you guys have a good morning. I got to eat my breakfast.